This is W6, where RJ Broadhead dives into the who, what, where, when, why, and how they all come together for a Tiger Cats win.
Thanks for taking some time out. We'll have some interesting stats for you on W6. We'll go beyond the obvious, and we'll hear from James Butler and Casey Sayles. So who's the opponent this week? It's the Montreal Alouettes. They visit Tim Hortons Field for the second time this season. The Owls are coming off a win at home against Calgary last week. Their record is at .500 with 3 wins and 3 losses. One of those wins came against the Ticats in their first meeting in Week 3. Owls won big, 38-12. Hamilton is playing their 8th game of the season, so Montreal has a game in hand. Ticats have a 3-4 record. Keep in mind, they started 0-3. They've gone 3-1 since and have a chance to get to .500 for the first time this season with a win on Saturday. So what happened in that last game against Montreal? The score was very lopsided. The Ticats did have a 6-0 lead, but they settled for field goals instead of touchdowns. That came back to bite the Cats because all it took was one big play. A Chandler-worthy punt return touchdown, and Montreal had the lead despite a good statistical start for Hamilton. That changed the momentum. Montreal went on to dominate. They also had a pick 6 from Wes Sutton, rookie Austin Mack scored a pair of touchdowns, and Cody Fajardo ran one in himself. The Ticats settled for 4 Mark Leggio field goals. By the way, he's on a streak of 16 straight successful field goals. Montreal outscored Hamilton in every quarter in that first meeting. They scored 5 touchdowns, and the Ticats had none. Interestingly, Montreal has not allowed any touchdowns in 3 of their 6 games this season, so they have a very good defense. Matt Schultz was making his first start of the season in that first meeting. He threw 2 interceptions, and they turned the ball over 3 times on downs. So Hamilton had 5 turnovers in total and did not have any takeaways. The Ticats sacked Cody Fajardo 4 times and held Montreal to just 84 yards rushing. It's the only time this season that the Ticats have held opponents to under 100 yards rushing. Defensive lineman Casey Sayles knows they have to take away the run if they're going to be successful.
The number one thing that we always want to do is stop the run. I think that's D-line's highest priority, because then obviously from there, obviously going to try and get the pressure on the quarterback, obviously get sacks if you can. I always had in my head the vets I learned from in Winnipeg. Anything really over that 100 mark is really going to be too many rushing yards. That is going to be too big of a factor to put on strain for the pass game. So really, I mean, the games that you look at, the defenses that really get after offenses, I mean, the rush yards really keep it around that, like, I would say 75, but more towards that 60 mark. Anything below that 60 mark, more likely you're going to end up winning the game. But if you even really keep it below, that 75-ish number, you're usually sitting pretty good. That's including, obviously the Fajardo and Stanback back there. So, they got a few jet sweeps, have a few tosses here and there. But, if we can keep 2, 3, 4 of those guys kind of around that 75 mark, it's usually pretty good.
The Ticats only had 38 yards rushing against Montreal and are coming off just 24 yards rushing in the Ottawa win. James Butler knows he has to find a way to put up better numbers.
Personally, I just feel like I gotta play better. You know what I'm saying? I can't really obviously decipher if teams are keying on me or not. So me just gotta take advantage of the opportunities I do get. I think every game's a challenge. You know what I'm saying? I think every team every game provides its own challenges. So you know what I'm saying? I'm always just preparing the best I can and doing whatever I can to make my play. And I'm excited for another opportunity, another chance. Anytime this team blesses me with an opportunity to go out there and play, I'm gonna try to make the most of it.
Despite some quiet games statistically, Butler is still 5th in the CFL in rush yards and was named to the CFL honor roll for July.
Honestly, I was surprised because my numbers have been obviously super down these last couple of weeks. So to me, I thought they had the wrong guy. But yeah, it's obviously a cool honor, cool graphic that my mom will show all her friends at work. So it's always pretty cool.
Tim Hortons Field is where this one will be played. The Ticats are back home, 7 o'clock kickoff. They have a record of 1-2 at home, but are averaging just 16 points per game at Tim Hortons Field. James Butler knows getting off to a good start will make a difference.
It's really big, you know what I'm saying? Obviously it's always about how you finish, but you know what I'm saying, you want to start fast and not, always have to play from behind or in those like super close games where you can kind of get up on guys early. So it's definitely important for us to start fast and execute, all of our plays. We always harping on counting by sevens, not threes. So, you know what I'm saying, that was definitely a big emphasis this week, and obviously every week is just to punch it in the end zone. We just got to find a way.
One of the Ticats' 2 losses at home came against Montreal, and it's the only road win for the Owls so far this season. Casey Sayles feels the Ticats are a different team than the one that Montreal beat in Week 3.
I think we're a lot more experienced now. Obviously, first few weeks, even kind of rolling in last week, it's just so many new guys. It's just a lot of little details that we're just trying to iron out. But I think we're at that point now. Week 3 versus Montreal, we were at home. We were still truly a fresh team. We just had so many new guys, and including myself. There's a lot more that I've learned about the team and the guys and our playbooks since then. So yeah, the week's been great. Practice has been great this week, and energy's high. And I think everyone knows kind of really how big this game is to get in second place. The guys around you. I haven't played with any of these guys before, so it's just little details of kind of how they roll and the things that they like to do. Obviously I was around Jeff Coat and Jefferson, so I kind of knew the way that they like to do stuff. So, obviously it's just getting repetitions with these guys. It might not be, a game or two or, 100, 200 reps. It might be 500 reps to 1,000 reps, and that includes practice and everything, just to really truly know how those guys around you really roll. And so, it's just kind of get into it and just kind of get in a groove with those guys. And, it's also just and it's not the way to play, it's also the communication that we do. And, just kind of on and off the field type of things, just to truly get to know each other, that ends up rolling into the game. And obviously win us games, it's a lot of controllable factors I think are kind of going our way right now. And just taking a day at a time. But yeah, definitely feeling good with the guys around me right now for sure.
The win is Saturday night. This season, the Ticats are undefeated on Saturdays. It's true, but it sounds better than it is at this point. They've only played one Saturday game so far. It was their first win against Ottawa on July 8th at Tim Hortons Field. The Ticats won that one 21-13. Montreal has been good against the Ticats. They've won 4 in a row against Hamilton, including the East semifinal last season. The Ticats' last win against the Owls was over a year ago. July 28th, 2022, at Tim Hortons Field, it was a 24-17 win. One more point of interest, the Ticats play Montreal before the bye for a second straight time this season. It didn't go well previously, so they're hoping for a more enjoyable bye week this time around. So why is this win so important? Well, it's an East Division opponent. And right now, Hamilton, Montreal, and Ottawa all have 3 wins, so it's very close. Also, they play Montreal 3 times in the regular season. Montreal won the first game, so if Montreal wins this one, they'll win the season series. Judging by how close things are in the division, the season series could play a factor, so the Ticats need to win to have a chance to get the edge on Montreal. The final meeting between these two teams is the last game of the regular season, so it's still a ways away. For the Tiger Cats to win, Taylor Powell will have to have a strong game. He's making his second start. Both have come at Tim Hortons Field. Oddly enough, Bo Levi Mitchell hasn't had a start at Tim Hortons Field yet. Maybe later this season, fingers crossed. It's the 4th straight game where the Ticats have trotted out a different starting quarterback from the week before. James Butler has belief in Taylor Powell to have a big game.
Every football team, obviously, it's always next man up, you know what I'm saying? And obviously I always have the best things to say about Taylor, you know what I'm saying? He's like I said, he's one of the most confident guys I've ever been around. Great person on and off the field. So obviously guys are excited to play with him.
The Ticats will have their second bye of the season after they play Montreal. things are moving quickly. The Ticats are just 2 games away from the midpoint of the season and 3 games from the Labor Day Classic against the Argos at Tim Hortons Field. The season happens fast. That's W6 for this week. Lots of fun stats, but the real deal happens Saturday at Tim Hortons Field. The Alouettes and Ticats. Hope to see you there. If you can't make it, listen to the Ticats Audio Network. Listen.ticats.ca. Pre-game show at 6. Play-by-play with me and Luke Tasker at 7.
Now that you've got your W6 for this week's game, give the Ticats Audio Network a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you find your audio content.